unveiling ancient secrets, the hidden meaning behind mysterious symbols. Hello, my dear treasure hunters. Welcome back to the Treasure Hunter channel. I'm thrilled to have you all here today. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with fellow adventurers. In today's episode, we're diving into the fascinating world of ancient symbols. Specifically, 3 commonly encountered signs that could lead us to hidden treasures. We'll explore what these symbols mean, what they represent, and most importantly, their connection to treasures buried long ago. So grab your gear, sharpen your instincts, and let's get started. The enigma of the circular engravings. Our first topic is one of the most intriguing signs you'll come across, the circular engravings. These are among the most widespread symbols found around the world. Often seen carved into rocks, they are typically interpreted as symbols representing graves or offering pits. But as with all ancient symbols, context is key. When these circular engravings appear alongside other signs or are found in specific locations, their meaning can change dramatically. They might not signify a grave at all, but rather hint at something far more exciting: a hidden treasure. You're standing before a massive rock formation, and on a single piece of this colossal stone, you find 2 distinct circular engravings. At first glance, they might seem like markers for a burial site, but don't be too quick to judge. These could be your first clue towards uncovering a long-lost fortune, deciphering the dual symbols. Now let's dive deeper into these 2 engravings. Upon closer inspection, you'll notice something interesting. The first engraving is larger and deeper, commanding attention. The second one is smaller and shallower, almost easy to overlook. But why the difference? Here's the key. The larger, deeper engraving often serves as a beacon, a marker pointing directly to the location of the hidden treasure. The smaller, shallower one acts as a guide, indicating the direction you need to explore. This dual sign system is a brilliant example of how ancient treasure hunters concealed their fortunes. The larger symbol draws your attention, while the smaller one subtly guides your next steps. Now, if you examine the landscape around these engravings, pay close attention to the rock formations behind them. The direction suggested by the smaller engraving is not random. It's often aligned with natural or man-made features in the landscape, a hidden path, a peculiar boulder, or even a disguised entrance, uncovering the path to riches. So, how do we follow this path? The secret lies in the distance between the 2 engravings. Measure this space carefully. The number of steps derived from this distance is often the clue to how far you need to move in the direction indicated by the smaller engraving. If the distance between the 2 engravings is 3 feet, take 3 steps in the direction pointed out by the smaller symbol. But don't rush. Move cautiously, keeping an eye out for anything unusual, a loose stone, a gap, or even a faint engraving hidden beneath dust and debris. Ancient treasure guardians were masters of deception. They would seal treasure chambers with stones and cover them so seamlessly that only the most observant would notice. So, look for signs of tampering, stones that don't match the natural formation, freshly moved soil, or unusual gaps between rocks. These could all be clues left intentionally to lead you to the hidden vault, the final revelation. Now let's talk strategy. If you find yourself before a rock with engravings on its upper middle section and both symbols are close to each other, then you're likely very close to the treasure. The proximity of these engravings suggests that the hiding spot isn't far. Pro tip: always check for additional signs, a triangle, a cross, or even smaller circular engravings nearby. These could provide further guidance or warn of traps. And one last crucial point: many treasures were hidden within the rock itself, behind a concealed entrance sealed with stones. This means you might need to carefully remove or inspect rocks for hidden compartments. So, my fellow adventurers, the next time you find yourself before an ancient rock face adorned with engravings, you'll know what to do. Analyze, measure, and proceed with caution. Your fortune might just be one step away. I'm thrilled to have you with us today for yet another fascinating exploration into the mysteries of the past. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and share this video with your friends who love uncovering secrets as much as we do. In today's episode, we're going to unravel the mysteries behind ancient circular engravings, their meanings, and, most importantly, how they can lead us to hidden treasures. From concealed chambers to cleverly disguised entrances, we'll cover it all. So grab your gear and let's embark on this adventure together. The secret of the concealed chambers. Let's start with one of the most thrilling aspects of treasure hunting, discovering treasures hidden inside natural rock cavities that were later sealed with stones. Imagine coming across a rock face that appears perfectly natural but holds a secret beneath its surface. Ancient treasure guardians were masters of deception. They would fill these natural cavities with stones, carefully covering them to blend seamlessly into the landscape. So, how can you spot one of these concealed chambers? Here's a tip. As you follow the direction indicated by the engravings, pay attention to any unusual formations. Stones that look out of place, gaps that seem too uniform, or even subtle differences in color. A good metal detector can be your best friend in such situations, helping you uncover metallic clues beneath the surface. But there's more. The presence of a large, circular engraving at the base of a rock could indicate the entrance to an ancient cave used to conceal treasures. This is where knowledge of local history becomes invaluable. If the area was known to house caves in ancient times, you might just be standing at the entrance to a fortune. The mystery of the dual circular engravings. Moving on, let's talk about the second set of symbols, two circular engravings side by side. As we've discussed before, circular engravings come in many forms and serve different purposes. The key is identifying which ones point to treasure and which ones are merely distractions. In today's example, we're dealing with two well-aligned, well-carved circular engravings that resemble what we call well-type engravings. These aren't just random symbols, they tell a story. When you find two of these engravings close together, it often means there's a third sign hidden nearby. The rule of three. Ancient treasure guardians loved the number 3. So, if you spot two circular engravings, don't move on just yet. Search the area carefully for a third symbol. It could be a directional sign or something entirely different, but it's essential to unlocking the mystery. In this case, the third engraving is often a smaller, shallower circular mark. And what does this mean? It's a directional guide. The treasure isn't at the site of the engravings. It's in the direction indicated by the smaller symbol. Following the trail. The importance of context. The most exciting part of this journey is following the clues. Here's what we know. So far, the large circular engraving suggests the presence of a concealed chamber or a cave. The smaller engraving points the way. Now, let's decode a more complex situation. When the interiors of these engravings form a conical shape resembling the letter V, it's not just for decoration. This specific shape is a clue. It hints that the treasure is buried in what was once an ancient well or a shaft-like structure. 2 wells, but only one treasure. The presence of two identical engravings suggests that there are two such wells nearby, but only one contains the treasure. The other could be a trap or a decoy, possibly even dangerous. So how do you find the right one? The answer lies in the small, shallow engraving. Move in the direction it indicates. Search for rocks with a single circular engraving on them. When you find one, you might just be looking at the stone that once covered the entrance to the real Well, the final steps, deciphering the right well. Here's where it gets thrilling. Upon finding the circular engraving on a rock, you'll need to inspect it closely. Look for signs that it was moved or placed there intentionally. Stones that seem too round, too flat, or don't match the natural landscape are often man-made. Covers hiding something significant. Pro tip: use a metal detector to scan the area around the stone. If the detector goes off, you might have just found the lid to a hidden shaft or a well leading to treasure. Once you uncover the well, proceed with caution. Ancient traps were common, and many treasure hunters have met untimely ends by rushing in. Slowly remove stones, shine a light inside, and always check for signs of collapse or booby traps, ancient traps and deceptions. We're almost at the end of our journey, but there's one last piece of the puzzle. Ancient traps, false floors covered with soil or stones, pitfalls beneath seemingly solid ground, pressure-triggered mechanisms designed to seal the entrance. These were all tactics used to protect treasures. The key to surviving them is patience and precision. Use a stick to probe the ground, listen for hollow sounds, and always keep your eyes peeled for unnatural formations, unlocking the secrets of the past. And there you have it, fellow adventurers. Today, we've learned that circular engravings aren't just symbols. They are maps and guides to ancient treasures. Understanding the context and direction indicated by these engravings is crucial. The presence of multiple similar engravings suggests a system of decoys and traps designed to protect the true treasure. By following these clues and keeping your eyes sharp, you might just uncover a fortune that has been hidden for centuries. The hidden path to treasure, deciphering ancient symbols. Today we're diving deep into the secrets of ancient symbols and how they can lead us to incredible hidden treasures. Before we start, make sure to subscribe and share this video with your fellow adventurers. The secrets we'll uncover today could be the key to your next big discovery. In this episode, we're going to decode a series of mysterious circular engravings that tell a story of two wells, hidden chambers, and a secret known only to those who can read the signs. By the end of this journey, you'll know exactly what to look for when you're out there in the wild, following ancient trails. So grab your gear and let's get started. The well beneath the stone. Imagine this. You're standing before an ancient rock, and right beneath it lies a hidden well. The key to finding it is in the engravings, the circular symbols etched into the stones nearby. These aren't just random carvings, they're maps in disguise. The two circular engravings you see tell a fascinating story. One of these wells holds a treasure, the other is a decoy, potentially dangerous and empty. So how do you tell the difference? Here's a tip. Examine the stones around the area. If you find two circular engravings on separate rocks, pay close attention. The one that appears more faded and less visible is likely covering the well with the treasure. This subtle clue was a brilliant strategy used by ancient treasure guardians to mislead grave robbers. Pro tip: use a metal detector to scan the area around these stones. If you get a signal, proceed with caution. The well beneath might be the real deal. The third symbol, a true sign of treasure. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Our third symbol isn't just a clue, it's a confirmation of treasure. If you come across this symbol, drop everything and start investigating, because you might be on the brink of something monumental. This symbol suggests the presence of three separate storage locations underground. Only one of these holds the true treasure. The other two might contain a few worthless items meant to confuse and discourage anyone who finds them. To pinpoint the real treasure, you'll need a good ground-penetrating radar. But here's a crucial detail. This device works best on flat terrain. If you're on a slope, you might miss the mark entirely. So choose your spot wisely. The rule of three. The three-part system wasn't just practical, it was symbolic. In Christian iconography, it represented the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In older pagan traditions, the number 3 was seen as a symbol of luck and protection, meant to guard the treasure. So, if you find 3 small circular engravings pointing towards a rock or a patch of soil, start digging. The challenge of excavation. Finding the treasure is one thing. Extracting it is another challenge entirely. In previous discoveries, treasure hunters have found hoards encased in ancient Roman concrete. Imagine the excitement of finding a treasure chest, only to realize it's entombed in rock-hard cement. Breaking through this barrier is a painstaking process. Pro tip: bring heavy-duty equipment like a demolition hammer and carbide-tipped tools. A simple pickaxe won't cut it. And here's another twist. These concrete casings were often infused with iron filings, making them detectable by metal detectors. But beware, false signals can easily lead you astray. Deciphering the symbols. The path forward. So how do we decode these symbols to ensure our efforts aren't in vain? The key lies in the direction pointed out by the small circular engravings. Focus on the smallest one that's closest to the larger central engraving. This is your compass. Here's a step-by-step approach. Start with the largest engraving. This indicates the general area where the treasure is hidden. Follow the smallest engraving. Move in the direction it points. Look for 3 smaller circular engravings. These indicate the exact spot to dig. If these smaller engravings are facing downward towards the soil, the treasure is buried beneath the earth. But if they face a rock face, then the treasure is hidden inside the rock, the true meaning of the Trinity. The number 3 was a powerful symbol in ancient times, and its use in treasure markings was no coincidence. In Christian symbolism, it represented the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In pagan traditions, it was a sign of luck and a way to ward off evil. This is why, if the engravings were made by early Christians, the treasure is almost certainly hidden inside a rock cavity symbolizing a tomb or a sacred space. But if the markings predate Christianity, they could simply be a form of protection meant to mislead robbers and guard the wealth. Avoiding the traps. Ancient treasure hunters were experts in deception. Here are some traps to watch out for. False entrances, sealed with stones to waste your time. Pitfalls, covered with soil to trap the unwary. Sealed chambers, packed with stones and dirt to mimic solid ground. Your best defense? Caution and thoroughness. Probe the ground before stepping and inspect every stone for hidden mechanisms. The final discovery. If all goes well, and you've followed the symbols correctly, you'll find yourself standing before a concealed entrance. This is the most thrilling part of the journey, the moment when history, mystery, and wealth converge. Carefully move the covering stones, keeping an eye out for any additional markings. Shine a light inside and proceed cautiously. Ancient treasures weren't just hidden. They were protected with traps designed to catch the unwary. Conclusion: may fortune favor the brave. So, my fellow adventurers, we've learned that circular engravings aren't just random carvings. They are deliberate clues. The rule of 3 is a powerful symbol in both Christian and pagan traditions. The treasure lies not in the markings themselves, but in the directions they provide. As you set out on your next expedition, keep these secrets in mind. The past is full of mysteries, but with the right knowledge and a bit of luck, you just might uncover a fortune. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Treasure Hunter. And remember, fortune favors the bold. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and may the ancient symbols guide you to unimaginable wealth.